Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode. Whether you're watching, listening here in the United States or across the world, if you can give us the big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost, follow us on social media, and reach out to all the contacts in your phone and share Voices for Voices and the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast with them. They won't be disappointed, just like you are not disappointed. And whether you've been with us from episode one or now over 500 episodes in our portfolio, we thank you. It's because of you we're here and we have a show. So thank you very much. This show is going to be uh, uh, pretty interesting. It is. Uh, it it definitely is about mental health. So I'm actually going to say the words mental health, and you know that all of our shows have the core foundation of mental health on all of our shows, whether we say the words mental health or not. As you know, I have several mental illnesses, and that's why I founded this organization and why I and those who are involved with our organization uh, are doing what they're doing is because of their belief. Some may be having some of the same mental health challenges that I have, and some might not. But what we're going to talk about today, it is going to strike a chord with a lot of people. Uh, First and foremost, what I want to do is give a disclaimer. So, UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson was leaving his hotel on his way to a conference, and he was, it's on camera, he was shot and killed. And so he died. So, the UnitedHealthcare CEO died. Luigi Mangione is who is suspected of that, and all that's going to play out in court. We're not here to litigate anything. I just want to say this episode has absolutely nothing to do with those events that are occurring. Although I will be speaking about United Healthcare, and to be more specific, Surest, Surest, is a medical pharmacy uh, pharmacy, pharmacy branch of United Healthcare. So why am I bringing this up? So we all know how much we don't like having to pay extra money for things. And so I'm going to talk about a situation that just happened and actually is still unfolding to this minute as we're filming. Mm, Sorry, the itchy nose. Sometimes it happens. So here's the deal. There's medications, mental health, psychotropic medications that I've been taking for years. I just swapped one for the other for another one a few months ago, and the price with insurance was like $70. Uh, Luckily, my psychiatrist was able to utilize some samples because it's $70 for one, and I take multiple medications. It's just not really sustainable. So it came to the point where samples ran out and my psychiatrist submits the script to the CVS pharmacy nearest to where we reside. The insurance company is UnitedHealthcare. Surest is the specific. So I think it's like probably like a business unit, like how there's Medicare, Medicaid, and that. So this is UnitedHealthcare, Surest. But it all comes back to UnitedHealthcare because UnitedHealthcare is the larger organization. And so my psychiatrist submitted the prescription to be filled, and this was on like last Thursday. I'm not quite sure when we're going to be dropping this episode, so just think of it. The prescription gets sent on a Thursday. I have enough to get me through Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 4 days uh, that CVS could have filled the prescription or contacted me to let me know exactly what was going on. Well, they didn't. They just said, oh, the pharmacist needs to ask some questions when you pick it up. And I was like, all right, whatever. So Thursday comes and goes, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm out. I'm out of this particular medication. So I call CVS Pharmacy and I try to figure out what's going on. They said, "Oh, um, your insurance doesn't cover it. So United Healthcare insurance doesn't cover this particular medication." I'm like, "Okay, that doesn't really make sense." Uh, I mean, I'm not, it's not, it's not an end of life prescription drug where, uh, if, whatever things need to happen to make that particular legal drug available. And so I said, "Oh, okay." So I'm talking to CVS, and they say again, "Oh, your insurance doesn't cover it." So we used this discount card, GoodRx, and we got it down to $372 for a 30-day supply. I don't know about you. I don't know who can afford $372 for one prescription for 30 days, and then the next month will be $372, then the next one. So I'm in communication with my psychiatrist, and this is where the United Healthcare that I'm striking a chord with. And I don't know about other insurance companies. I'm only talking about my experience. So come to find out, so I call the insurance company and I'm fuming. I'm like, you don't cover this medication? And they said, oh, well, your provider, your psychiatrist or whomever is your provider, uh, they need to fill out what's the exact word? I got to get this right. Okay. So there is this, it's called an authorization form that the insurance needs filled out by the provider. And my provider, my psychiatrist, didn't didn't know that. And so this is where I'm upset and I'm sharing it on our show because I'm not the only one that this has happened to. This has happened to a lot of people. A lot of people I don't know every single person it's happened to. So this form needs filled out, and so the pharmacy won't have it if the form's not filled out. But no, they'll have it, but it'll be at $372. Yeah, there's this inefficiency where my provider, when when she sent in the prescription, she should have been notified like right away, right? Like if there's a if something's being submitted and there needs to be like an extra step or two or three, they need to be made aware of that so they're able to fill out whatever form, do whatever they need to do. But they weren't, and it didn't happen. So my provider, I feel awful, terrible. I'm just upset because this has happened to other people. I'm not the only one. And so I basically what happened, I had to go a day without taking medication. And it's always, best to take, entire bottle of medication, whatever it is, if you're for whatever it is. If it's a Z pack, or we're ivermectin, we're supposed to take all of it. And so I had increased anxiety to the max for the most part. And if it wasn't for the years and years, again, down, I mean, bless him, 40 years being sober and drug free. I'm going on 9 years. And if I didn't go through the therapy, if I didn't go through the things I did, I don't know what would have happened. I, only God would know how I would have reacted and that. Uh, but I was able to talk to my mom and talk through what was happening. And so this is for United Healthcare and every insurance company. If there's an additional form that needs filled out before a prescription can be run through the added insurance and hopefully pay less than, in my case, $372, there needs to be some automation into that. It's 2026. There needs to be some automation where, oh, this prescription needs an prior authorization form filled out, and that should automatically come. Like when the provider goes to submit a prescription, but it didn't, and it hasn't, and it didn't happen. So that meant me not being on, skipping a day, and people wonder why we talk about the stigma of mental health and all this. And I promised the insurance person I talked on the phone that there's going to be an episode about this, and this is it. UnitedHealthcare, because you failed me, failed my provider, and Lord knows how many others you have failed. I haven't abused any of these medications. And so, whatever form needed to be filled out needed to be sent direct, like right after my provider sent in the script. Should have been like, oh, send in a script and then a kickback email or a kickback message. This requires prior authorization with this insurance. It's all in the system, right? It's all in the computer. And it didn't happen. And I'm going to use some choice words. Parents, again, I apologize for this. Please, take your children out of the room if they are. Usually they're not with our show because we have a variety of topics we talk about like this. So because the motherfuckers at United Healthcare pulled that shit on me and my provider, how about those people out there who haven't gone through therapy and whether it's the same prescription as mine or it's not. There needs to be that kickback automatically. It shouldn't be up to the provider to know every single thing about every single insurance company and every single legal drug. It's not up to the provider. Insurance was the one that was holding things up. United Healthcare, you fuckers held my fucking prescription up for some prior authorization form that you assholes should have automatically sent last Thursday to my provider so she could fill it out. And that's the truth. So what ended up happening? I missed a day. My provider's on vacation, and I have to decide if I'm going to contact her. Luckily, I was able to, and I just got a message that the form has been submitted. The prescription should be covered under the insurance at the pharmacy. So let's actually do this in real time, people. Let's do this in real time. See, this is the shit. So this is, people talk about, well, why does somebody choose to die by suicide or go off the rails or something? It's hard enough And I know it's hard enough to talk about how you're feeling and what's happening, and it's hard enough to deal with that shit. When somebody's actively asking for help, like myself and so many of you out there, and you run into this, this obstacle, I can I can completely understand. Again, I'm not other people, but as somebody has an episode, mental health episode, this is one of the simple areas that insurance companies can deal with right away. So I talked about my dad, right? Okay. So he passed away in 2024 on March 1st from cancer, turbo cancer, from the Wuhan lab, from the COVID, from the shot that he took, went in and did all his physicals and evaluations and everything. Yet comes to find out he's not feeling good one day, goes to the emergency room, and within a couple hours finds out he has stage 4 cancer and he's got less than a year to live. So one of the things is chemo. So he started chemo. And there were certain prescriptions that I was there with my family, with a doctor, with a nurse, when they're saying, well, the doctor would like to add this to the chemo cocktail that, gets infused and that. And they said right there and then, the nurses and doctors, like, oh, this is going to take prior authorization because they got to know they got something that said this is going to take some prior authorization before we can approve this. So they knew right then and there that there needed to be some form. Unfortunately, my dad didn't have long to live, but fortunately, stuff got approved. And so I just got the approval. But after going through all the things, contacting insurance, contacting my prescriber's office, which I knew couldn't do anything because they just, get the messages to the providers send it in, and there's their process. I don't know everything because I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a practicing nurse practitioner, psychiatrist. I just from the little knowledge that I have. And so before I call and we find out how much it actually is going to be, because I believe in transparency, so people know I'm not bullshitting you and making shit up. So that's what we're going to do. But for this, for people who are thinking about getting help or talking to somebody or any, and then they go and they have a therapy session or they go to their provider, prescriber, I guess uh, is a way to a word to use. And then to have something like this happen. I mean, if this was me 9 years ago, I'd been like, fuck it. And then, like, who do I call? How long is it going to take? All these things. So I know there's a lot of people out there hurting, and I'm hurting, but I'm hurting maybe just a little bit less. Every day is a struggle. Every fucking day is a struggle. Yeah, I'm trying not to use bad language and I get it and asking God for forgiveness and that. But I got to get this point across, UnitedHealthcare. This is on you, making billions. You can't get this shit fixed or it's not already set up. Because this isn't the last time it's going to happen to somebody. It might not happen to me, but it might happen to somebody else. And what about if that somebody else takes drastic action uh, and unfortunately hurts themselves? All because they're going, I don't, who do I fucking call? I talked to this person and then I talked, and everybody's saying, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't even put all that together. So, United Healthcare, get your shit together. Surest, you're all making a shitload of money, big ass bonuses, living and who knows? I don't know. But you're living a lot better life than a lot of people. So the first thing you should do, one of the first things you should do is get information technology or IT department to get programmers on this ASAP. United Healthcare. This is on you, fuckers. People are getting hurt. People are missing their medication. All because you can't get shit figured out and have the computer systems from the pharmacy, the prescriber, and then you as the insurance company, because you three don't talk to each other, and it's on you. It's the insurance that was holding it up. And you know what the interesting part about that also was? So I was like, oh, that's $372. And then United Healthcare, you know what they tell me? Oh, well, we recommend you get this uh, alternative until you can get the one that you need. And then I said, like any normal person, well, am I going to be able to get that today? Oh no, you're going to have to go through the same, prior authorization process. And I'm like, so why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me, oh, here's an alternative? Well, that's great. Thank you. Oh, hooray. Thank you for telling me that there's an alternative. But yeah, I'm not able to get it when I need it that day. That day could have been my last day. And for others, it may very well be. And so something so small, I have a note, a kickback note, letting the prescriber know that this is going to this is this is going to take an extra step or two. And so so CVS, I feel is at fault too, but they're a little bit less at fault because they're just filling it and they're just saying, well, here's what our system says, which is from guess who? United Healthcare. United Healthcare, United Healthcare, United Healthcare. That's the health insurance company that's holding everything up. That my prescriber just let me know that It just got released. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call um, right here on the show and see how much with insurance, see what happens. So I'll have to put some personal information in first. No, pharmacy.
Will need to talk to you when you come to the pharmacy before you get your prescription. The estimated cost is $376.71. To know the status of other prescriptions, you can try saying the prescription number found on the label of the prescription bottle.
So it's not fixed. So it actually went up. It went up. Can you believe it? Yesterday it was $372. Now it's $376. So it's not fixed. My prescriber did what she was asked to do, said it was approved, said the prescription should be there at the pharmacy. And it is. It's there if you got $376. And there's our good old watchdog, Lucy. So just know you're not alone. Okay. I'm trying to do this with a smile. You're not alone. I'm not alone on this journey called life. We're not alone. And keep fighting to get the help you so deservedly deserve. So thank you for tuning in this episode of the show. United Healthcare, get your ass in gear. Get this shit taken care of ASAP. And for all you that say, "Oh yeah, you're a wimp," you're using mental health and that and mental illnesses as a crutch and all that. No, we're all unique. And what just happened, what happened yesterday, I pray to God that it never happens to you, that you never have to go through this. But just know you're not alone. And United Healthcare, shame, shame, shame on you. CVS, for whatever part you have to play, shame, shame, shame on you. Y'all need to get your shit in gear and you need to help people as soon as possible. What about all the people that don't ask for help, that don't reach out because of this very fear that, well, what happens about if this happens or that happens? And I've been there. I know that. I know those feelings. So never give up. Never lose hope. And we're well on our way to reach and help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. Again, this is Voices for Voices, our TV show and podcast. Give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost, follow our social media. Be first to know what's happening with our organization. We have lots of exciting things on the not so distant horizon. And if you can reach out to all your contacts in your phone. Let them know about the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We're here for you. I'm just a human being sharing my mental health and related topics, as well as when we have guests with us. So again, thank you very much, and we'll see you on another episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. It's been Justin Allen Hayes, and it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you and see you soon. Bye bye for now.